Oh my God, have you seen that video of the Patriot with the MAGA hat singing on the plane? I have so much to say about it, but let me just play it to you first.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
I know.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up
Next to you and defend her.
next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Aw, wasn't that just so beautifully joyous and heartwarming? Well, for some of us, for libtards who've been brainwashed to see patriotism as some sort of evil, I suppose it was very triggering or offensive to view that clip. But for the rest of us normal people who love our country with all its faults, that was lovely, wasn't it? And that's the thing about patriotism, right? It's not a blind love of your country where you overlook all its faults. It's the desire to do your part in making the country as great as it possibly can be. And part of that is recognizing those faults and working together to rectify them, rather than just abandoning ship, which I think is kind of the woke perspective, to just scrap the whole thing, tear it all down and start again. But now I can understand that too, because part of me wants to do the same. When I look at the corruption across all of our institutions, there is a desire just to tear it all down. But the thing that's so ironic about a lot of the people on the left today is that they hold this type of view, but at the same time, they champion those institutions. They so love big pharma and big food, for example. So there's so much hypocrisy in their thinking. On the one hand, they talk about tearing it all down, and on the other hand, they are the greatest defenders of the worst parts of the system. But watching that clip, another thing that I felt was great nostalgia, because it reminds me of the time when we were on a coach trip in Taiwan when I was about 4 years old in the mid-70s. And my mom made me sing a song on the microphone to the entire bus after the tour guide was finished using it. Because this wasn't that unusual back in those days. Well, certainly among the Chinese population, if you're on a tour bus, guaranteed one of the passengers is going to sing a song on that microphone at some point. Anyone who was capable of singing would stand up at the front of that bus at some point, or they might just stay in their seat while the tour guide passes them the microphone. But at some point, some usually middle-aged Chinese uncle or auntie would sing a song. So on this particular trip, my mom made me sing, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to do it, but she pressured me, so I was like, oh, okay then. And I sang this country and western song, which at the time, my dad, who was learning to play the guitar, he used to sing it at home every day while playing along on his guitar, and my brother and I would sing along with him. And my English was terrible, so half the lyrics I had no idea what they meant. I just kind of learned the words phonetically. So this was a song that I sang on the bus, and I'm going to try and sing it as close to how I did back then at the age of 4. From this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathways a while. Yeah, that last sentence, I remember having no clue what the words were. I just memorized the sounds, but I didn't know what I was saying. That has brightened your pathways a while. I had no clue what that meant. And it's funny that I've remembered that so vividly after all this time, now that I'm 52 years old. But that song was such a big part of my childhood because my dad sang it every day for God knows how long. So it's one of my most vivid memories of that period in my life when we were living in Taiwan. And I remember all the lyrics to that one verse. But I never knew what the song was, the name of the song or who sang it or what it sounded like, the original. I only knew my dad's version of it, and I hear it in my head sung with his Cantonese accent. So when the memory was unlocked by that Southwest Airlines video, I Googled this song. I just Googled the first sentence of it, "From this valley they say you are going," and I discovered the name of the song. And I looked up the lyrics and I was finally able to see that what he says is, "From this valley they say you are going, we will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathways a while." I don't know why reciting those lyrics has made me feel so emotional. It's just thinking about the old days with my dad and the happy times we had in Taiwan. And so much of what is good about me is what I inherited and learned from him. And now he's 93 years old and he's virtually lost all his memory. But he's a huge country and western fan. And when he still had his hearing a few years ago, I tracked down the album Country Milestones, which was his favorite album from the mid-70s. And I just remembered it. For all these years, I still remembered the name of that album because it was the one album that we had that we listened to daily. And I knew all the songs. I used to sit in the back of the car singing along to Honky Tonk Angel and The Most Beautiful Girl in the World and Cold Heart and I Fall to Pieces and Satin Sheets and all those country classics. That was my first exposure to music, and I learned so much English through singing along to those songs. Well, anyway, I tracked down the album, I sent it to him, and he lives in the US. And when he listened to it, he told me he remembered all those songs. Even though he'd lost so much of his memory, he could remember me sitting in the backseat of the car singing along to those songs just as vividly as I did. So let's take it from the top again.
From this valley they say you are going, we will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened the pathways a while. From this valley they say you are going, we will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened the pathway a while.
So yeah, when I saw that Southwest Airlines clip, that's what it reminded me of. And I wonder, was it just a 70s thing or is it a Chinese thing? Like if you went on a Chinese tour bus today, like on a coach trip in Paris, for example, would there be a point where some uncle or auntie would grab the microphone and sing a song? I'd love to know if anybody else out there has experienced this. And what did you think of that video? Would you have been singing along on that plane too? Do leave me your comments. And as ever, please give this video a like. And if you're not already doing so, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.